Okay, we should have already done, we may have already done this one. I'm trying to figure out how to make this bigger for you. I guess I can't. There should be a little zoom. Oh well. So the cost of 9 cupcakes is $12.15. What is the equation that represents the cost y of X amount of cupcakes? What is the cost of 24 cupcakes? So we probably already did this. The constant of proportionality is the cost per cupcake. So you do 12.15 divided by 9, and you get $1.35. So it's $1.35 per cupcake. And they want us to represent the cost of X amount of cupcakes. So the cost is the cost of one cupcake, which is $1.35 times X. So Y equals 135 X. Then it wants to know what the cost of 24 cupcakes is. So I will have to solve that by substituting 24 into X. So $1.35 times 24. And I do believe that is $32.40. But let me get my calculator open. Maybe. There it goes. So clear. 135 divided by, 135 times 24 equals $32.40. So our answer will be $32.40. Going to change colors and make this possibly a little smaller. Malcolm can run 18 miles in 2.5 hours. So we're trying to figure out miles per hour. So I will do 18 divided by 2.5. And that tells me how many miles per hour. So I'm going, and that's also our constant. So 18 divided by 2.5. Nope, I missed the 0.5. 18 divided by 2.5 equals 7.2 miles per hour, which is also our constant of proportionality, 7.2. Making sure you see the point. So that equation will be his distance equals his rate of 7.2 times how many hours. So it wants to know how far he can run in 3 hours. I will do y equals 7.2 times 3. Let's see what happens if I go over here. 7.2 times 3 equals 21.6. So he runs 21.6 miles. All right, we have managed to handle the top. And now we will start with the bottom. And I still want to try to, so I'm going to pause. Okay, I did manage to zoom for us. Identify the constant of proportionality, write an equation that can be used to describe the graph. So I'm going to pick this point that it shows me, which is X is 5, the Y is 4, sorry. And my constant of proportionality is Y divided by X. So it's 5 over, it's 4 over 5, 4/5. So my constant of proportionality is my Y over X, which is 4/5. That means that any point that I get on here, if I take and multiply by 4/5, they should equal each other. We'll go over that better when it's a better equation or better constant. So we're just going to substitute that in. Y equals 4/5 x. This one is the same situation. I'm going to label my point. It is 1, 5, and my constant is y over x. So x is 1, y is 5, so my constant of proportionality is 5. Now I'm going to change colors and make sure that you understand what that constant is doing for us. If I choose another point, say right here, okay, and I try to solve the equation that we have created, y equals 5 times x, okay, because that's this equation that we create, it should be a true statement. So let's see, my x is 2, so I'm substituting that in. And in this point, my y is 10. So does 10 equal 10? The answer is yes. So our equation is correct. That's the whole point, is to try to find an equation that whenever you substitute the x and the y coordinates, you get the answer to be true. We're going to do another page. Maybe. All right, so we're still doing the same thing. The 15 dogs at a kennel could be fed with 18 pounds of food. What equation represents the number of pounds of food needed to feed D dogs? How many pounds of food? So I'm assuming that it's food per dog. Okay, so I'm going to do, the food is 18 divided by 15, and that will create our constant or our unit rate. So 18 divided by 15 equals 1.2 pounds per dog. 1.2. So our equation will be y equals 1.2 times the number of dogs. How many pounds of food does the kennel need to feed 19 dogs? So I'm going to substitute that 19 in where the x is. Y then will equal 1.2 times 19. And you will get 1.2 times 19 equals 22.8 pounds of food. Okay, we will change colors. A recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of butter for 4 cups of flour. What equation represents the number of tables of butter spoons B needed for flour? So, how many tablespoons of butter are needed for 9 cups of flour? So what I'm thinking about is this pound butter per cups of flour, or is it cups of flour per butter? It's giving me flour, so I'm thinking it's butter. That is awful. Butter per flour. And that'll mean that I have to divide. So butter is 2 and flour is 4. 2 divided by 4 is 1/2. So our constant is 1/2. So that means, oh, they did letters. We know how I feel about that. So we need butter is needed half as often as flour. Probably should have done that over here too because they had different letters, but I didn't. but I can. So food equals 1.2. And I know that I just shifted problems on you, but this should have been the equation over here, and this is the equation over here. So the final question on this one is how much for 9 cups of flour? So I'm going to put 9 in where it says flour, and I need to take half of it. And I can do that in my head. Half of 9 is 4.5. So we need 4.5 tablespoons, which is a capital T, of butter. Writing with a mouse is not the easiest thing. All right, let's go ahead and we can do the bottom problem. And that might be it for today. Okay, so in this one, we're going to do the same thing. We can choose any of these points. I'm going to choose this one. I'm going to label it. So it is 3, 6. This point is 4, 8. Oh, look, I can already notice what's happening. This one is 2, 4. This one is 1, 2. So I could choose any of these. My K equals Y over X. And I'm just going to show you if I put 4 over 8, that's the same as 3 over 6. Oh, nope, begin. What did I do wrong? Who saw it? I put my X over my Y. So it should have been 8 over 4, or 6 over 3, or 4 over 2, or 2 over 1. So you can tell all of these will be simplified into 2. So that is why our constant that is occurring is 2. So our equation is y equals 2 times x. This is what I'm going to label as well. So this one will be 3, 1, 6, 2. And this one is 9, 3. So remember my k is y over x. So in this case, this one is 1 over 3. This one is 2 over 6. This one is 3 over 9. These can both be simplified into 1 over 3. This one can be 1 over 3. So my constant is 1 over 3. I want you to notice that I have shown you this in several different ways so that you can see why they relate and how they relate. So our equation is y equals 1/3 x. We're going to stop there for today. Make sure you have done all the other work that is necessary on Google Classroom, and see you soon.